Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Saratoga on Wednesday is the Grade 2 Honorable Miss Handicap. Race number 4 at the Spa. Fillies and mares going 3/4 of a mile. Let's take a look at I guess you could call it a field. There are 4 in here. There's some nice fillies and mares led by Bella Sophia, who won last year's test at Saratoga, is 2 for 2 this year, and has run very fast races, arguably the horse to catch and beat.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she just is the horse to beat. I don't really want to knock either of her first 2 starts this year, Dan. I don't, think you could be blown away by either of them. But she did get the job done both times. It feels like she shows up in every single one of her starts. 4 out of her last 5 races are triple-digit buyers. She's probably the speed in here. Plenty to like.
Don't mind her cutting back to 3/4 of a mile. Mike mentioned she's the speed. I think she is. We'll throw out the Time Form US Pace Projector. Bella Sophia likes to hear her feet rattle on the front end. Amma Devil, well, we'll find out how good she is. In some ways, Amma Devil's kind of the key to this race, Mike. The Ohio-bred Flash gets a big class test, but she's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're going to ship her in here and step her way up in class to try a race like this, they're not going to take away her speed. So we'll see if she's fast enough to go with Bella Sophia. I mean, I guess as far as the favorite's concerned, Dan, she is fast. If she doesn't make the lead, it's not a huge issue for her. You go back to her test over this track last year, the Grade 1, she sat comfortably on the outside that day and had no problem winning that race.
The number 1, Frank's Rockette's the second choice on our colleague David Aragona's morning line. She hasn't won in over a year, but she's sure come close. She's hit the board in her last 4 races, including just missing the Bella Sophia last time out in the Vagrancy. And I think a lot of folks are going to make the argument that that was the race where Frank's Rockette, if she was going to beat Bella Sophia, would have beaten her because she was catching Bella Sophia off the layoff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the argument that I would make, Dan. Frank's Rockette, not only was she catching Bella Sophia off the layoff in the Vagrancy, but Bella Sophia dueled the pace. Frank's Rockette sat right behind, got through on the inside. She had every chance to win the Vagrancy, and she just couldn't quite get it done. She ran fine in there, first triple-digit buy of her career, but it feels like this race, it's going to be tougher for Frank's Rockette to win, at least in my opinion.
She's always been solid in her career. I don't mind her cutting back to 3/4 of a mile either. And as Time Form US indicates, she could catch a decent trip again, sitting just off of the early lead. Bella Sophia is the number 2. Let's watch her most recent start, the Bed of Roses. This is right after she beat Frank Rockette off the layoff. And she just didn't look as comfortable in some of her other races. She was on her right lead early on the turn before switching back. She never changes lead on the stretch. And yet she still is able to hold off Obligatory, the gray horse who's going to make a run at her. Obligatory is a very good horse. Bella Sophia had just such a strong pace advantage. Obligatory couldn't get her.
Yeah, exactly. And they just went so slow in the early part of this race. Bella Sophia really didn't have to be used at all, just on a sort of a measured lead, kicked away through the upper stretch there, held on at the end. I'm with you. I mean, she didn't, look great winning the race, but she still won it, and she beat a really good horse in the process.
The Ohio Flash, the 3 Amma Devil, won her career debut by over 24 over a wet track, and by far that was her fastest race, a 94 buyer. So if the rains come at Saratoga, you might want to upgrade her chances. She's still pretty good on fast going. She's 7 of 8 lifetime with a 1 runner-up effort. Let's watch her last race at Belterra Park, going 3/4 of a mile. She's 1 to 5. She pushed the pace early. She's already dusted the other pace presence, and she's going to just run off and hide from this field. She deserves a shot against a higher class race like this, Mike. We'll see how good she is.
Yeah, we're just going to find out how good she is here. It's a pretty significant class test, especially with her running style as compared to the favorites, because she's not getting loose in this race. And she's also, going to be a big price probably for the first time in her life.
Kamari, the number 4, looking to get back on track for Wesley Ward. We know she has ability. She's a Grade 1 stakes winner on the dirt. She started off her season, her 5-year-old campaign, with a win at Gulfstream against inferior competition, where she just sat on the outside and got it done. In the Madison, I thought she ran okay, pretty much on a solid pace. Last time I didn't fire at Churchill Downs against Obligatory.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be, probably a little more forgiving of her last 2 starts than it sounds like you are, Dan. The Madison, listen, she dueled the pace with a horse who was in really, really good form at that time, got the better of that horse, couldn't hold off the closers at the end, and the horses that ran 1, 2 in there came from way out of it to get her. So I thought she ran fine that day. I just didn't like the trip she got last time. She didn't break right from the gate. She got behind horses early and steadied and lost a little position. Steadied again coming to the quarter pole there as her rider couldn't get to the outside. I don't know. She didn't run great. She didn't run terrible. I just feel like I could make excuses for those last 2 races, Dan. And other than that, basically all of her dirt races give her a chance in here.
Ideal outside post position for her, where I think if she breaks, you can just settle in a 3-wide trip, tracking the 2 front runners, dead aim on the turn. And again, she's got plenty of races and plenty of quality for Wesley Ward. Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video offerings. Top pick time, Bella Sophia, the horse to catch and beat. We're going to try to beat her with the Stalkers. I know Frank's Rocket couldn't get her last time out. I like that Mott skipped, though, the Better Roses and gave her some time off that triple-digit buyer speed figure. Maybe she could work out a trip. The problem is, I don't really love 2-1 on her. I mean, Bella Sophia deserves to be the favorite. Maybe Kamari takes a little money and Frank's Rocket drifts.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they decide who's going to be second choice. Because I do think they could go either way in that regard. Personally, I would just much rather have Kamari. I'm perfectly happy to give her one more chance here, Dan. I don't think things worked out all that well for her in either of her last 2 starts.
Mike's going with the Grade 1 Stakes winner, Kamari. I'll see if Frank's Rocket can upend them from just off the pace. But Bella Sophia, last year's test winner, the horse to beat. In the 4-horse field, the Honorable Miss Handicap Wednesday at the Spa. Good luck.